Welcome back to our channel, Chronicles of Strange History. What are you seeing on the screen? This man has been actually stuck in an airport for 67 years. Are you ready? Let's go back to 1954. The time is September. The location is Tokyo International Airport. The man replied that he was from Taured and was on his way to Rome. Taured, however, wasn't a familiar country. Flight attendants consulted their geographical maps but couldn't find it. They inquired further, and the man mentioned that he had a connecting flight from Zurich. The man paid for his ticket using a $100 bill and joined the queue for immigration. When the police entered the bathroom, they found the door locked from the inside. How could a seemingly ordinary man who had cleared immigration and had no history of mental illness suddenly take his own life? As the news of the mysterious man spread, more people came forward with stories of their own encounters with him. It turned out he had been seen in several countries before arriving in Japan. They tried talking to the man, but he didn't respond. They eventually broke down the door and found the man hanging by a towel from the top of the shower curtain rod. He had taken his own life. He may have genuinely believed that he was from a country called Taured and that he needed to get to Rome. He might have been so caught up in his own personal time warp that he didn't realize how confused and disoriented he must have seemed to everyone else around him. What was his connection to the various countries he visited, and why did he ultimately end his life in a Tokyo airport bathroom? He went straight to the check-in counter and bought a ticket without any hesitation. It's possible that he became overwhelmed by the realization that he was trapped in a time warp and saw no way out. These individuals need our understanding and compassion, not our fear and stigma. The case of the man from Taured is a grim reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of our everyday lives. It's a sobering thought, but one that should serve as a wake-up call for us all. We must remain vigilant in our efforts to understand and support those who are struggling with mental illness, for we never know when we might need help ourselves. The man from Taured may have been a tragic victim of a disease that he couldn't control, a man whose mind was trapped in a time warp of his own. The story of the man from Tour de France may be a mystery that has never been solved, but its lessons are timeless. It's a tale that should be shared and discussed so that we can all work together to create a better world for those who are suffering in silence. Or perhaps he simply couldn't cope with the stress of trying to maintain his false identity any longer. And if you have any thoughts or theories about the case of the man from Taured, feel free to share them in the comments below. Who do you think he was, and why do you think he ended his life in that way? Your input might shed some light on this baffling mystery. He also didn't seem to be carrying any luggage, which could suggest that he truly believed he would only be away for a short time and wouldn't need anything with him. It's a bizarre tale that defies explanation and has left many wondering about the nature of reality itself. While the mystery of the man from Taured may never be fully solved, it continues to fascinate and terrify us in equal measure. It's a chilling reminder of the darkest recesses of the human mind and the terrifying things that can happen when it unravels. The idea that there could be someone out there who is so deeply affected by temporal lobe epilepsy that they believe they are in a different time and place is truly unsettling. Despite the numerous reports and investigations, the mystery deepens. No one could figure out where Taurus was. There are no records of the man's existence, and no one knows who he really was. It was just an ordinary day until a strange man walked through the doors of the airport. His appearance immediately drew everyone's attention. He was tall with fair skin, white hair, and blue eyes. He wore a black suit and sunglasses. The crew had noticed that this same individual had been on multiple flights between Turkey, Pakistan, and India. On June, he was spotted at Istanbul airport and was believed to have boarded a Lufthansa flight to Switzerland. He then took a train to Milan and stayed there for a month. In July, he arrived in Paris and visited the U.S. Embassy before flying to Tokyo. Everyone at the airport was buzzing about the mysterious man from Taured. Some speculated that he might be a spy or part of a secret organization. Others wondered if he was mentally unstable or simply an eccentric traveler. However, no one could have predicted what would happen next. One prevailing theory suggests that the man might have been a victim of temporal lobe epilepsy. You might think you re in the past and start speaking in an old-fashioned manner, or believe you re in the future and try to use futuristic slang. If other people don't understand what you're saying, it could lead to a lot of confusion and distress. Temporal lobe epilepsy can also cause people to see or hear things that aren't actually there, making the world around you seem even more chaotic and confusing. This form of epilepsy can cause individuals to believe they are in a different time period, leading them to behave in ways that are consistent with that belief. He also carried a black briefcase that added an air of mystery to his persona. He found a staff member and asked to use the restroom. It was unusual for someone to ask for directions to a restroom after clearing immigration. But the staff member, not knowing anything unusual had happened, directed him to the appropriate place. The man entered the restroom, but he never came out. As he approached the check-in counter, a flight attendant named Tetsuko Hagawara asked him where he was from and where he was headed. An immigration officer checked his passport, which had a photo of the man in front of the Eiffel Tower. But when they searched for the country of Taured on their map, they were puzzled because it didn't exist. Still, the man insisted he was from Taured and refused to accept that it was a made-up country. The officers decided to let him go for now, but promised to investigate his mysterious case later. As soon as he cleared immigration, the man disappeared into the crowd. After 2 hours, the man returned to the airport. After some time, the staff became concerned and alerted the police. The police were puzzled. For instance, in April of that year, an Indian Airlines flight from Istanbul to Delhi reported having a strange passenger who had entered India on a tourist visa but had no plans to leave. All of these accounts described the same man, leaving the question, who was he? It's as if he vanished into thin air, leaving behind nothing but questions and theories. Imagine being in a crowded airport, believing you're in a completely different time. In the case of the man from Taured, he may have been experiencing something similar. This theory is supported by the fact that the man seemed to know where he wanted to go, even though he was obviously lost in his own world. Unfortunately, this theory doesn't explain why the man took his own life. Whatever the reason, the case of the man from Taured remains one of the most perplexing mysteries of modern times. It reminds us of the fragility of our own sense of self and the tenuous grip we have on the world around us. But as we ponder the strange case of the man from Taured, we must also remember that there are real people out there who suffer from temporal lobe epilepsy and other forms of mental illness. His story may be over, but the impact of his existence continues to resonate with us today, reminding us of the importance of mental health awareness and the need for greater understanding of those who suffer from it. In a world where everything seems normal on the outside, there can be a storm of confusion and despair raging within someone's mind. And as we go about our daily lives, we should always be aware that there may be someone out there who is grappling with the demons of mental illness, desperately seeking the compassion and understanding they need to survive. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more intriguing stories. Thanks for watching.